let's shoot it out and talk a little Eagles as, man, we're on a little bit of a winning streak here. Can they beat the Jags, get to 6-2, and then they got a tough run after that? But impressive 3-game winning streak by the Eagles. To discuss, we have to send it to the trenches and talk to my guy, Tra Thomas, Eagles Hall of Famer, looking handsome as always. What's up, big man?
Hi, I'm good, man. How's everything?
It's good. It's good.
Yes.
What do you like? So they beat the Browns. Browns are one of the worst teams in the NFL. They beat the Giants. They dominated the Giants. So it's like, all right, let's see them beat a good team. They go on the road. Not only do they beat the Bengals, but after that opening drive, the defense dominated. The offense looked very good. It was a true team win. It really was. It was an impressive win. What are you feeling like? How do you like the look of the Eagles right now, Trey?
I like the way the team is coming together. Right now the defense is playing at a high pace. They're coming in there. I think our secondary has really improved. You know what I'm saying? These guys are playing. They're shutting down receivers, giving the defensive line time to get home. And I think this is probably one of the most complete games that you've seen from our offensive line. To go out there, even though you have a couple guys missing, the backup stepped in and had a really solid game. This was the first game they had with 0 sacks.
Fred Johnson. I mean, you talk about it. He comes off the bench. He's kind of been a journeyman. Jeff Stoutland obviously doing a great job with any guy that has to come in here. But Jordan Mailata, he's gone. And Fred Johnson comes in, like you said. He's been tremendous.
Yeah, he had a really good game. Now, for the past couple games, he was trying to find his way there. Now, when you get back, he said that he feels a lot more comfortable on the left side. And it showed, because when he came out there last week, he was lights out against a really good rusher.
Yeah, so you look at what the Eagles are now doing offensively, and earlier in the season, it seemed like they were trying to figure out what they were, and just because you want to have an identity doesn't mean that you can just say, here's our identity. It takes time, right? We've seen this year after year. It feels like, hey, we're running through the offense. We're running the offense through Saquon Barkley right now, and we're going to beat you if you try to take Saquon Barkley away, which the Bengals did last week, or they tried to do last week. Jalen was excellent. He's not turning the football over. Is this right now, is this the offense best suited for the Eagles making a run? And maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks from now, we're looking at this team as being one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. I think that when you have the team where the offense is clicking like this, where you're running the offense through Saquon, that's a winning formula right now. Because when you go back and you say, all right, you know what, we had, how many yards rushing did we have? 161 yards rushing. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you want to see from this offense. And then now you have those receivers where you got Jaylen Brown and AJ and Slim out there that can light you up as well. So to me, if you can run the ball, then that's going to open up the pass as well. And then, when you have receivers like that, it makes defenses have to play you a certain type of way, which allows you to run.
Yeah, you had mentioned the secondary, and I think just the youth on defense. It's crazy, Trey, because week 2, you're looking at the defense and saying, like, oh, man, like, I'm not sure about these young guys. And Quinn Mitchell looks good, but maybe DeJean, he's not ready to play because he wasn't playing much early in the season. And now you look at him after the Bengals game, DeJean had a couple of huge plays. Mitchell looks like a stud going forward. So when Slay isn't on the field, or you don't have to rely on him in the same way that you did before. And then you look at the defensive line. You have a core now of a young team. It actually reminds me a little bit of you guys in 99 and 2000 at the beginning of Andy. We're seeing the young guns really starting to carry this team on defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And people are like, well, hey, man, why aren't we getting sacks? Why aren't we getting sacks? Well, for you, coverage dictates sacks. So you need that coverage to come in there and disrupt the receivers to be a little bit more physical. And that's what they're doing, because now you see where the defensive line can be a little bit more disruptive, but secondary has to be a little bit more physical. Make sure you get in the receivers, make that quarterback hold the ball just a tick longer, and then your defense is getting home. I think Nolan is starting to come around with his rush, and then, Jalen Carter, man, he's just an animal in the middle. So, you got some animals out there that can get after it. You just need the secondary to continue to play the way they're playing.
Yeah, and BG really hasn't fallen off, Trey.
Ass BG.
He's not playing as many snaps, but I think he had 29 or 30 snaps against the Bengals. He's making impact plays almost every week.
The BG, his farewell tour is, I mean, he's playing at a pretty solid rate to be talking about, okay, this is year 15. You know, BG is having a really solid year to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if he says at the end of the year, I got one more in me.
I've been saying it for a couple weeks now because to me, Trey, it feels like that he thought that everybody agreed this is going to be your final year. But then you go out there and you're playing. You can talk about this because I think I remember Ike used to always say that he pretty much knew that his career was winding down, that he didn't have enough to go back through another training camp and do it all over again. It doesn't feel like that with BG. I think I remember you telling me the same thing. Did you know, in your final year, did you know that the time was coming?
Oh, yeah. I knew it. You know, I was out in San Diego, had just had a knee surgery, and then got back, and one of those rookies, running backs, ran into my back, locked my back up. I woke up the next morning and went and told Norv Turner, like, hey, man, I'm going home. Thanks for having me out. You know what I'm saying? So I think BG, and the way training camp is now, I think that helps, you know, especially when you have someone that's up in years like BG. But, you know, it's going to be up to him if that's – but he's playing at a high rate right now, and he's doing what he's asked to do with not a high volume of plays, but he's being impactful. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out at the end.
Yeah, your podcast that you have with Todd Harriman's Between the Vines, 7279. You're still churning out content. You're drinking wine. I've been watching the episodes. I'm on the Instagram looking at everything. What's you got two big offensive linemen. What does Todd think about the offense this year? And really, you look at Nick Sirianni being the CEO coach, but Kellen Moore seems like he's got finally. Here's what I think I have with the offense. Here's what Jalen Hurts can do the best. It feels like everything's coming together with the coordinators right now with Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore.
Yeah, I think that they're working to. This is one of the things that I notice with the organization is that they hear everything that everybody says. So you know what I'm saying. So if everybody says, "Hey, they're not running the ball enough," Saquon is going to get the ball. Hey, you know what? They're not throwing the ball over the middle. We're going to throw the ball over the middle. So you know, keep complaining. Whatever you guys want to see this offense do. Hey, we don't see Jalen Hurts on the center. You're going to see Jalen Hurts on the center. So keep complaining. Whatever you guys want to see. Yell it loud because this organization is going to work to get it done.
Dude, it's so true.
They're
listening to WIP. They're watching PHLY. They're hearing what you're saying. It's so true. Devontae's not getting targets early in a game. Guess what? Devontae's going to get 7 passes every time, man. Oh, it's so true. You're so funny, but it's so true. Yeah. And I guess that's a good and a bad thing, right? Because you want the organization to know what the outside is saying. You don't want them making decisions based on what the outside is saying.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Hey, man, I want to see Jake Elliott catch a pass. Let's do that. You know what I'm saying? Let's. I need everybody to get on board. Let's yell it out loud. I want Jake Elliott to catch a screen pass, and hey, they'll do it. They're working into this plan. Let's work on it.
Jordan Mailata never lined up at running back, and that was something that I took a lot of phone calls on. So they didn't do that. That would have been awesome.
Well, I don't know. Now that you got, Fred Johnson out there holding it down, I don't know. We might see Jordan get back there in the backfield.
I went real quick on the rest of the Eagles schedule. So they got the Jags coming up. Man, if they don't win that game, I don't know if I'm watching them for the rest of the season. I better not have to worry about that game. But it's a look-ahead game to the Cowboys the following week. So you got a big national TV game against the Cowboys. And then it's a short week. Thursday night at home, but against the Commanders. And Washington is very good. Jaden Daniels can play. That kid's good. And then you have on the road against the Rams, Sunday Night Football. And then you're at the Ravens. So Cowboys, Commanders on a short week, at the Rams, at the Ravens. This is going to be the toughest 4-game stretch they have after the Jags game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why it's so important to keep stacking performances, you know what I'm saying, as you move forward. We can't have those drop-offs where you have a really good game from the defense and then they drop back down. Now we need to continue. Now that we're seeing this team continue to move in the right direction, we need to keep stacking these wins, especially against Jacksonville, because that's a team that you should dominate. So go out there, dominate, keep working, because you know that you're going to have some tough matchups later on.
We'll end it on this. So Anthony Richardson, the Colts quarterback, he was benched yesterday. He's still very young, but Joe Flacco is going to be the starter going forward. But what happened on Sunday, I've never seen before. He tapped out. He's the quarterback. He tapped out of a play because he was tired, and he came out of the game for a play, not because of injury, but because he was tired. And I saw his teammates react to that, especially a couple offensive linemen. What was your reaction to Anthony Richardson tapping out for a play because he was exhausted?
I couldn't believe it, because I'm just like, how can you? I'm looking at first. I'm looking at the offensive line. Did you guys have the man running for his life? I'm gonna have to go back and watch this game. Was he scrambling a lot? Because for you to just say, "Hey, man, you know what? Hey, coach, everybody, running backs sub out, receivers sub out. The guys that stay on that field is offensive line and quarterback until the game is in hand, and that's always been the case. I have never seen a quarterback tap out because he was tired. Now, I've been in games where I felt like, hey, man, I need y'all to hurry up and do something. You know what I'm saying? Because I am winded. We are on a 17-play drive. I want to get off this field. Fine, hurry up and do something. You know what I'm saying? Even when we played in Dallas in the pickle juice game, where it was hot, shoes were busting, played every snap in that game. I have never seen a quarterback just say, hey, you know what? Hey, man, I need 5. Give me a couple minutes. I need a couple minutes because I'm winded. That's and then I'm kind of like, well, is this a new era? Will you start to see other players say, hey, man, especially quarterbacks say, hey, you know what? I need a break. Because, that right there to me was just mind blowing. I've never seen something like that.
He had 6 carries for 45 yards in the game, JP, or up until that point. I mean, I'm not questioning whether he's winded or not, but still, don't you have to? I mean, you call a timeout if you're not ready to go. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. I'm assuming in all your years of playing through youth, high school, college, NFL, your kids now play. You've probably seen every game your kids have played. I've never seen a quarterback tap out because he was running around too much.
Never. That is new. This is the new NFL.
No, it's not. No, I can't imagine that.
It can't be. That's what I'm saying. I hope this was a one-off and will never happen again.
No way,
because it's going to be talked about. I mean, everybody's talking about it. I know this is something that's going to be, hey, man, all right, hey, guys, you need to, if it's that. You had Jalen Hurts out there with one shoe saying, all right, you know what, I need to get back out there. Call a timeout. Let's try to figure out this shoe. The equipment manager, shout out to the equipment managers for having another pair of shoes on the sideline.
Johnny on the spot. Right there. Well, listen, maybe Donovan in the Super Bowl should have tapped out of that play instead of throwing up on the field. But he
I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what happened there. I can't confirm or deny what happened in that huddle. I don't know.
Okay. All right. When do you and Todd when does the new episodes of Between the Vines come out generally?
Oh, we're going to come out today. We're going out to Cape May Winery today and having some wine, man. So, it's fun, man. Sit around, drink some wine, talk football.
All right. We'll look forward to the new episode. Trey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it. Take care. Have a good one.
We all silly like the mayor.